Namaste, my dear friends. If you are new to my channel, here's a little background on me. I am married to an Indian man, but originally I'm from Finland, even though at the moment we're living in Kerala, India. And all of you, my old friends there in the audience, I gotta say, I just love it so much when you ask me all your many questions about my home country, Finland. It makes me so happy to see all the interest that you have for my heritage. Pretty much everyone seems to know that Finland is absolutely different compared to India. So I thought that today we'd dig deeper into those differences by me explaining all the bigger cultural shocks that I got when I first came to India from Finland. So let's get to it. Oh, the peace. This is my favorite thing about Finland. The silence. I come from an extremely punctual culture, so much so that in Finland it is considered tardiness if a bus or a train is even a minute or two late. And after 10 minutes or so, you already start getting some kind of like coverage for your losses. And as for a Finnish person, it's not enough that you are actually on time. It is preferable that you are at least 5 minutes early. And if it's something important, it's better to be 15 minutes early. In Finland, I'm used to the fact that, for example, whenever I have a doctor's appointment, I should be really early there, because if I am late, then my appointment will get cancelled and I still have to pay for the doctor's time. It's considered like extremely rude, impolite and disrespectful to the other people and their time if you are late. But that is definitely not the case in India. It's not because it's like considered rude or impolite here, it's just like all the chaos, so you just like really need to get let go of some of your expectations meanwhile. And oh my god, when we were still living in Vizag and I started seeing my dentist there, it was just like so shocking to me that no matter what time of the day I had my appointment, my dentist was every time at least 30 minutes late, and I was always a little bit early, and I just could not understand it at all and kept waiting there. And eventually, yes, I did have to learn how to let go of my expectation of punctuality. And this one time we ordered an installation service to our Vizag home. And I gotta say that even with all the calls from the service person that he's on his way, 5 more minutes, 2 years later, and me living in Kerala, I'm still waiting for that installation. Indian Standard Time, huh? Okay, we Finns definitely are not rude, impolite people who just like have no regard and care towards other people. That's not the case. I think that it's more about us preferring our solitude and personal space, so it's very difficult for us to show hospitality and warmth so spontaneously, especially towards strangers. Because, for example, if you're a foreign tourist in Finland and you approach a Finn, it's very likely that the Finn will just like, oh my god, get startled, why is this stranger approaching me? Oh my god, I do not speak English, I don't know how to help, please don't ask me directions, ask that person, like please go away. And yeah, especially when it comes to our homes, it's very difficult for us to have this kind of like open door policy for strangers. It's more that it's easy for us to show that hospitality when it's firstly scheduled and planned, and when it's directed towards our friends and family. Because, like, for example, look at these few clips of house parties that I've had in Finland So nice. But then in India, you have the concept of Atithi Devo Bhava, which means that the guest is God. And oh my God, it is just so overwhelming when complete strangers start approaching you and just like extend their helping hand so graciously and without any expectations from you. I remember the first time that I came to India, and in Delhi, already then I could see this mentality of the Indian people, and people are just like so eager to help you, direct you. It's just like so overwhelming to see that kind of helpfulness. And even to this day, 4 years later, oh my God, I don't think even a day passes by without me getting some kind of invitation to someone's home or village and meal and all that. And it's just so overwhelming to me because I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared of strangers. I don't want to go to a stranger's home. It's like, what am I supposed to do? I can't handle this. I'm a Finn. Please leave me alone. But I love this about India. Seriously, I think this is one of the best, absolutely best things about the Indian people, and it makes me feel so welcomed and loved in this country. Well, this is again something that I think goes into the category of us Finns, like really, really loving our personal space and solitude, because we think that also means silence. Because if you keep noise in public places or even at like housing areas, it is considered so rude to invade someone's personal space with your unnecessary noises. And even at the like most popular spots in Finland, you would be astonished to hear how quiet it can be. Like, just listen to these clips here. And if you're traveling in a bus or a train, it's completely rude to listen to music without a headphone or talk too loudly on the phone with someone and just like blabbering on about your personal matters. No, no, no. You have to give us our silence, and that is also why we Finns love our nature so much, because we go there to seek some of that peace and quiet. But oh no, that is not the case here in India. I'm not sure, again, if the concept of noise even exists in India, because that's just something so natural in this environment. Traffic is not noise. All these like street rallies and demonstrations and parties are not noise. You'll just like keep blasting the music so loud, not noise. It's just like a natural part of life and not considered something rude. So it's just something that a foreigner like me better get used to living here. Also, this noise being that kind of natural part of life, when it's too silent, you obviously have to fill that space with something. So better start putting on music, or like these youngsters do, just like start shouting your lungs out. And I'm still trying to get adjusted to this. I'm so happy that we live in the middle of the jungle, so the like biggest noise pollution that I get here is the monsoon or the jackals that keep howling every day long. It's extremely difficult for us Finns to express our positive emotions towards other people or receive those kinds of emotions to ourselves. From a very young age, we're taught to be humble and modest, and we definitely shouldn't brag about ourselves, and we don't even really learn how to praise other people. And that is like, when I get praise for myself, I seriously just feel like sinking and disappearing into the ground, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, it's nothing. Oh, don't you see all these mistakes here? And I could have done this better. And oh, this old thing up. Like, can you see the sit here? I'm not that pretty. What are you going on about? It has taken me a lot of learning to be able to just like take a compliment and say thank you and not try to downplay something, even though I still feel often that, oh my god, I don't deserve that kind of praise. But I have to learn it because, hey, I'm living in India and the emotional, wonderful Indian people do show their overwhelming positive feelings so well with so many words. There is just like this kind of innate ability with the Indian people to show their love and admiration towards people that they respect or that they see as interesting. And there's this huge fan culture in India where a lot of like Bollywood celebrities or sports people or like Modi ji, they have this like absolutely like crazy fan culture of love behind them, even to like interesting people such as myself as a white foreigner in India. When I travel, there are often people who see a foreigner for the first time and look at them like, oh, that's interesting, I need to capture this moment because this is so rare, and they are so good at showing that also, which overwhelms me often. I don't mind being approached, but sometimes it's just like, oh my god, too many strangers, so I can't deal with it. And especially when I visited Mumbai a few years ago and was at the Gateway of India, that must have been the most uncomfortable experience of my life, because I said yes to a selfie with one person and suddenly I was stuck there for over an hour taking selfies with at least over 100 people, and I would probably still be there today if this like lovely young Indian couple wouldn't have rescued me from the crowd. And that like seriously gave me a lot of anxiety about the selfies even to this date, but I am really trying to learn how to be better about taking those with people, because for example I loved taking selfies with these girls when we were visiting Mulki in Karnataka just a few months ago, and they were just like, oh my god, so happy and wonderful, and I had a lovely experience. And I promise you guys that if you sometimes catch me somewhere and want to take a selfie with me, I am trying to be really happy about it, and I will forever be grateful for those lovely experiences. I've already touched upon this topic a little bit in my previous vlog about the Indian food habits, but I'm not sure if I explained it well enough. The thing is that in Finland, when we go to restaurants, we don't order for the table, we order for ourselves, and what we get is strictly ours. We don't share our food. So if I, for example, order a big bowl of pasta and then a dessert of, let's say, a big piece of tiramisu, even if I'm not too happy with it and get envious of the other guy's food, this is still strictly mine. That is what I got, that is also what I will pay for, and every bite of that is mine. We don't go like sharing our food that way. And I seriously did not like sharing my food back in the day. It's like, either it has to be like strictly mine, or if there is like a food for the whole table, we have to divide it equally. We all need to get like equally the like, you know, good pieces, and sharing the bill equally. But then in India, ooh, seriously, ordering for the whole table or even like sharing the same bowl, I'm just like, but I need those pieces that are mine. I need my thing. Mine. And it was just like so difficult getting used to that. But gotta say that these days, like I said in my previous vlog, I do actually prefer this way because it makes it so much more fun to share the experience of food with the other people and tasting different stuff together. And obviously you also get to taste much more food that way from a menu. So why not do it that way? Yeah, stupid Finland. In Finland, when you go to a store, you will clearly have a price tag for absolutely everything. And obviously I prefer that because I do not have to talk to the salesperson and go ask, so how much is this, what's the price? And I don't have to go into the lengthy negotiation of what the price should be, in my opinion. Oh, the least amount of social interaction. Thank you. I still have a hard time with Indian markets and malls and all those places where salespeople come to me and ask, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, please, please, please go away. Don't follow me. Let me do this on my own. But especially when it comes to haggling, because no, there will not be any price tags in the Indian products. And then you have to ask the person, so how much is this kitne paise? And then you have to enter the negotiation, because they will give a price, but then you're supposed to say that, oh, just like half of it, what I'm willing to give. And I'm really bad at saying no to people, because if I can afford the initial price, then I feel like really bad and guilty about asking for a lower price and then going on and on and on about it, because I feel like it's just easier that, yeah, I know the price, do I want it or don't I want it? And if I do want it, like, why do I have to keep pretending that, no, I don't want it, to get a lower price? Yeah, I know that like shop people do appreciate the negotiation, that's like half of the fun for Indian people, but for me, I feel just like so exhausted by it, and I would just often rather just go home without getting anything. That's why online shopping, that's my go-to. So wherever you go in Finland, where you have to wait for your turn, you form a really nice queue. You get into a pretty straight line and also give the other people a lot of personal space. And yeah, maybe sometimes you're annoyed if the queue gets really, really long, but still you're just like standing there politely waiting for your turn in this like absolutely delightful silence. And when I came to India, I seriously did not know that the concept of a queue does not exist here, and it took me forever to learn that. I spent so many weeks in Visakhapatnam in the grocery stores because I was the one handling our food shopping every day. So I would just like keep standing there and waiting for my turn, and I'd keep wondering like, where are all these people passing me, and like, are they friends to this salesperson, and why does everyone get to go before me? Is this some kind of like status thing or what? And then it hit me. There is no concept of a queue. In India, you use your elbow tactics and you take your spot instead of queuing politely and nicely there. I'm just like, what is this? Why is everyone passing me? No, it's elbows and loudness and just like taking what is yours. I don't know how to be arrogant like that. I guess I need to learn if I ever want to get out of those stores in a decent amount of time. But thankfully, it's my husband who takes care of the grocery shopping these days. And like I said in the last haggling bit, online shopping is my go-to. The very first time that I came to India for my first date with my husband, then boyfriend, we met at the Delhi airport, and I was so happy to see him after months and months of messaging, and I just like absolutely ran to him and hugged him, and I could sense that, oh, why is he so uncomfortable with this? Like, doesn't he like me after all these months? Oh my god. Doesn't he love me? What is wrong here? Because in Finland, even though we are not that warm and open people towards others, we do actually have the concept of PDA, public displays of affection. So there are so many couples, even in the smallest rural towns in Finland, who just like walk there hand in hand. We hug people, we kiss people. There are also people who kiss way too much in the public, in my opinion, where I can see their tongues in each other's throats. And okay, that is too much even for me, but to me, public displays of affection are a very natural thing. So I never realized, even though I had read it, like obviously I had read it when I read about India, that it could be so frowned upon even in the like bigger Indian cities, and even with my very, very modern husband, who gets really uncomfortable when I try to show my affection to him publicly. And throughout that whole Delhi time, on our like first meeting, I could not even get him holding my hand, and to be honest, I don't even get him to hold my hand these days when we go out, unless there are no people like anywhere, and unless we are in the middle of terrible traffic, because he does take my hand when we cross a busy street to protect me, and that is probably the only reason why I don't mind being in the Indian traffic anymore, because that's the only time when I get this loving PDA from my hubby. So yes, please take me to the streets now. Even though sometimes it's very mentally wrecking, I very much love this about India, and hopefully I'll love those challenges one day more too, like the noise and the lack of punctuality. But yeah, these were the biggest cultural shocks for me, and some still are, but hey, I continue learning every day. I hope you enjoyed this vlog and getting a more in-depth look into the Finnish culture, meanwhile hearing some of my experiences about the learning about the Indian culture. If you did like this, hit the like button, and please do also subscribe to my channel, because I would love to have you here for the future and more videos about obviously India, but also about my Finnish culture. So thank you for watching this, and I hope to see you guys soon again. Mwah.